The issue of open carry hit a roadblock yesterday, but is that the end for the controversial legislation? We'll have the latest on the story coming up.
And later, Lubbock is known for flat land, beautiful sunsets, and internationally known musicians. Find out how Tech honored some homegrown stars next.
And between school, practice, and sporting events, Tech athletes often live very busy lives. But one group of students are finding some extra time to help improve the lives of children outside of the sports arena.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Casey Kopp.
And I'm Emily Hamilton. The issue of open carry of firearms has sparked continuous debate around the state of Texas. The bill, which was passed by the state Senate last month, is now working its way through the House of Representatives.
But yesterday afternoon, a technical error stopped House Bill 910 in its tracks and sent it back to committee for revision. However, most experts believe this is just a temporary halt to a law that is almost guaranteed to pass.
Although House Bill 910 would not allow for the open carrying of firearms on college campuses, another similar legislation would allow licensed concealed handgun owners the ability to bring their weapons into a classroom. Reporter Alana Kiker talked to students here at Tech to see how they feel about campus carry possibly becoming law.
5, 6, 7, 8, campus carry is not safe.
A piece of legislation that has been getting a lot of attention lately is the concealed carry of handguns on college campuses. I talked to a few Tech students and asked their opinion on SB 11.
I feel that students shouldn't have them necessarily because there's some people out there that would take advantage of it, and if they get too mad, there's no telling what would happen. But I feel like professors could have them on campus because that's for our protection. If something were to happen in Holden or Masscom or something, they can protect us more than waiting for the cops to come.
I mean, in my opinion, I approve for it and stuff because one, you're earning your license, you're understanding the rules that come with and the privileges that come with it, and also you can use it to defend yourself, anybody else, if any situation were to happen. I mean, I'm all for it.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, I definitely feel like it would be a hazard. In the sense that, that any student, that's associated with Texas Tech can, carry a weapon.
I think concealed carry is a fantastic idea because if there's a school shooting, the people who need guns most are the people being shot at. If you call the police, 20-minute response time, it's too late, people are dead. Whereas if somebody's shooting up this campus right now, I would like to know that I could do something more than scream and panic to stop them. That's why I think concealed carry is a fantastic idea, because criminals are not averted by laws, they're only averted by force.
With MCTV, I'm Alana Kiker.
It's been a typical West Texas weather week. Rain and wind on Monday, partly cloudy and warm yesterday, and clear skies today.
That's true, Emily, but you know what they say, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes and it will all change. So what changes are on our way for this evening? Weather specialist Carly Smith joins us with a first look at our forecast. Carly?
Thanks, guys. It does look like we do have a slight chance for storms later this afternoon, so it's going to change before you know it. So you take a look at Storm Prediction Center's forecast, you'll see that we are in a marginal risk area. That just means that there's a slight chance for isolated showers across our area. They could be severe, but nothing should be too make you worry too much. So as we take a look at a graphic from the National Weather Service, you'll see that the greatest chance for storms in our area are to the northwest. It's been a little breezy today in the upper 70s, and with those storms it could be windy, but the main area for storms is up to the northwest near the New Mexico border. So as we take a look at tonight's forecast, we do have a 30% chance for rain. That's with those isolated showers coming into our area, so it could rain in your area or it could not. 55 for the low with winds south 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow the high will climb into the 70s, 76, 40% chance of rain throughout the day. It looks like Thursday will be more of a rainy day, and we'll take a look at that coming up later in our full forecast. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Carly. The term Lubbock Lights may stir up images of UFOs and aliens for some people.
But here at Tech, it's being used to describe local stars who have lit up international music scene for decades. Reporter Laura Duclos joins us with more. Laura?
Thanks, Emily and Casey. Last week, the Office of the President hosted a first-time event that left attendees starstruck.
On Thursday, Texas Tech celebrated country music by hosting Lubbock Lights in the Sub Allen Theater. Lubbock Lights highlighted 4 musicians: Wade Bowen, Butch Hancock, Terry Hendricks, and Lloyd Maines. 3 of the artists are from the Lubbock area, with 2 of them even being Texas Tech alumni. The event wasn't your typical idea of a concert, though. Between songs, the artists talked with each other about their songwriting processes and explained the emotions behind their art.
Listening to the stories that they told about how they wrote the songs was a really personal piece to just the whole concert in general. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm just going to come listen to their songs. I get to hear the thoughts and the stories and the emotions behind all that, and that was a really neat background to that.
Earlier in the day, the musicians spoke to professors and students about their work and careers. Students appreciated the time the musicians took to speak with them, and now have a deeper understanding of the West Texas music heritage.
I got to looking and I saw some of the posters listed, and I saw Wade Bowen and Lloyd Maines, and I remember my parents always used to listen to the Maines brothers play, and I listen to Wade Bowen now, so I thought it'd be a pretty cool little show. I thought that it was actually pretty cool. I hadn't really ever been to something kind of like this. I was kind of expecting more of a concert, but this was pretty awesome.
Tech hopes to host another Lubbock Lights event in the near future. Casey, back to you.
Thanks, Laura. Yesterday afternoon, students had the chance to hear a speech that was out of this world. Al Sacco is not only the dean of the Whitaker College of Engineering, he's also a former astronaut who spent 16 days on the space shuttle Columbia in 1995. Sacco spoke to students at the Sub-Senate Room in a discussion titled A Global Perspective, an Astronaut's View on International Experiences. Sacco spoke about his time on the shuttle and how the flight impacted his view of world issues.
Dean Sacco's talk was one of only many events taking place this week as part of this year's International Week. International Week is held annually to celebrate the many different cultures and traditions from around the world. To find out more about the activities taking place this week, visit the International Week events page listed on your screen.
Another event happening this week is giving students a chance to have some friendly competition while helping to save lives here on the South Plains. The spring edition of the Battle of the Residence Hall's Blood Drive is currently taking place at the Sub. Students have a chance to donate blood and help their residence hall be known as the best set of donors on campus. The process is pretty quick and easy.
For those that have never donated, it's not that hard, and it's fairly pain-free. And, you know, just bring an ID, and feel well and healthy, and come out and see you soon.
The Battle of the Residence Hall's Blood Drive continues throughout this week. Tomorrow, you can donate in the Sub Red Raider Lounge from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then on Friday, the Bloodmobile will be parked in front of the Sub from 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Students, faculty, and staff are all encouraged to take part.
A high-ranking officer in one of the most well-known cancer foundations recently made a stop here at Tech. Dr. Judith Salerno is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. Salerno spoke at the International Cultural Center to help bring awareness to the foundation and its attempts to find a cure.
I want to talk about the history of Susan G. Komen as an organization which has made an impact in the world of breast cancer, but how it's been driven by women for women, and it has really created a community of people who are committed to ending breast cancer forever, whether in Lubbock or anywhere around the world.
The event was hosted by the Women's Study Program, the Office of the President, the Office of International Affairs, and the Laura W. Bush Institute for Women's Health.
Tech's dining halls are often known for having a variety of options, and those choices are continuing to get even bigger.
Reporter Jasmine Bradford shows us how one dorm eatery is celebrating its recent expansion and renovation in style.
They call it Market Palooza.
We're here just to kind of showcase and highlight all of the new healthy options on campus and other fun options here at the market.
The Texas Tech Hospitality Services celebrated the newly remodeled food court located in the complex. Mindy Diller, registered and campus dietitian for University Hospitality Services, participated in the 3-day event by informing students on different health choices and resources available on campus.
We have to figure out how we can feed students, how we can give them healthy options, how we can accommodate allergies and medical conditions. And so the benefit of me being here is highlighting those options that have wheat or have high fat or have other elements that maybe students need to steer clear of or maybe want more of.
The market contains a variety of entrees for students to pick from and even has its first fazoli's featured on a college campus.
Texas Tech student Paige Green helped set up the project months in advance with the new expansion.
Just the expansion of the market in general I thought was really awesome. We've had a lot of students that have seen the market in the past. They comment on how tiny it was and they just, they would never even eat here in the first place. And now I've had multiple students talk to me today so far and they're like talking about how the market is their #1 place to eat now, especially on campus.
So put those Raider Bucks to use and head over to Stengel Murdo for a good meal. I'm Jasmine Bradford, MCTV.
Greek life on campus can be a fun experience, but it's also about forming a united community. As reporter Courtney Robinson shows us, a recent event is helping bring sorority sisters together as one family.
Each year, women of Texas Tech Greek life come together and celebrate Panhellenic Pride Week. Panhellenic Pride Week is about celebrating Panhellenic as a whole and not just individual sororities.
I got a chance to talk to Panhellenic president and member of Pi Beta Phi, Nikki Dunn, about her thoughts on Panhellenic Pride Week and what it really is.
Several schools around the country that actually do this, but we were actually one of the first universities in the southern area to actually get this started, and a lot of other universities have piggybacked off of what we've done.
The Greek women of Texas Tech hosted a Panhellenic block party where they blocked off part of Greek Circle so the women could come have fun and enjoy this beautiful weather.
All of the sororities are set up around here with different kind of drinks, completely free for all of the members. We also have a food truck here that is providing food up to $1,000 to all of the members. So each person has a voucher for $2.
I also got the chance to talk to Lane Mims, member of Delta Delta Delta, about what Panhellenic Pride Week means to her and the block party.
I think Panhellenic Pride means that, a lot of times we don't get to hang out, all of us, as a Greek community. Most of the time we're all, hanging out within our individual sororities. And Panhellenic Pride Week kind of gives us the opportunity to all come together as one Greek community. This year there's kind of more of like a block party vibe where there's music and there's food and everybody's kind of doing fun things in different yards. And it's not, like a cliquey thing. It's like all of us have best friends in every single sorority.
For MCTV, I'm Courtney Robinson.
Texas Tech's student athletes are known for their skills on the field, court, or track, but many of them do much more than compete for victories. Coming up next, reporter Caitlin Kravik shows us how Tech's athletes are helping encourage success in the community.
And the Texas Tech tennis teams are making national news. RaShayla Daniels will be in with all the details along with the latest scores in sports. Stay with us, we'll be back after the break.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I've just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
The Texas Tech Athletic Department took time off from practice to spend a few hours with local youth. Student athletes recently left the court, field, and track to play with kids from a local Boys and Girls Club chapter.
Reporter Caitlin Kravick has more about a special day for some lucky East Lubbock kids.
Here at Texas Tech, being a student athlete is about being more than just present on the court, but present in the community. Texas Tech student athletes came out to East Lubbock to spend an afternoon at the Boys and Girls Club, like Red Raider basketball's Clark Lammert.
We really do care about the community, and we can have a really big impact on kids in the community, and just something as simple as coming out here and playing with them. They don't get the opportunity to see Tech athletes every day, so we really care about the community, and we want to give back as much as we can.
And some of the Texas Tech athletes are no stranger to the Boys and Girls Club, such as Jamie Rowe of Lady Raider basketball.
When people came out to me and they reached out to me, I was like, oh man, there's actually people out there that kind of care about me. It was just kind of motivating, and it kind of helped me get to where I am here at Tech. And I was kind of hoping that we're going to be able to motivate these kids to that point.
AJ McLeod, director of the Boys and Girls Club of Lubbock, admires what the Texas Tech athletes are doing for the community.
And for our athletes to tell them more that it's more about being students before athletes, because they are student athletes and not just athletes at Texas Tech. And so they can interact with some of our kids who would probably never see a Tech game if it wasn't for the Boys and Girls Club.
Jenna Allen of Red Raider Volleyball says that being a student athlete is a lifestyle.
To hold myself to higher standards and kind of everyone else around us, we just are expected to do everything, school, sports, community service, everything to the best of our degree.
To give the children of the Boys and Girls Club an afternoon of fun is something very special to these Red Raiders. For MCTV, I'm Caitlin Kravick.
For more information about the Boys and Girls Club of Lubbock and how you can get involved, visit bgc.org.
Once a year, the Department of Theater and Dance gives students a chance to come out and show off their dance and choreography skills.
Reporter Kaylee Possell has an insider preview of the annual event.
Raider Red's Awesome Dance Spectacular is hosted by the Department of Theater and Dance. But do you really know how this show is produced? I had an opportunity to attend a dress rehearsal and discovered what all really goes into the spectacular. Anyone and everyone on campus can make their own choreography. You can make it for a group or you can perform in it yourself. And they audition their choreography. They send it through Dropbox to the professors at the Department of Dance. And from there they select who they believe can make the show. The performers choose their own costumes, makeup, music, and dance routine. Backstage production is run by students taking practicums within the department. This includes the lighting, the sounds, and the costumes.
We iron on labels and we wash the costumes for them, and if there's any tears that happen throughout the week, we're the ones who mend them before the next show. If there are stains, we get the stains out, that kind of thing, and we just make sure that whatever they're wearing on stage stays in good shape. It's pretty impressive to see what these dancers can churn out. It's when they're given free creative license and they can do whatever, they get to really apply what they've been learning. It's pretty impressive.
For MCTV, I am Kaylee Possell.
You can catch the Raider Reds' Awesome Dance Spectacular starting this Thursday. The 3-day showcase will be held nightly at 8 p.m. and will end Saturday. The event takes place at the Majin Lab Theater, which is located at 18th Street between Boston Avenue and Flint Avenue. Call 742-3603 for additional information.
Then, on Friday, stop by the free speech area for Dollar Pancakes. TAB, the Women's Service Organization, and Miller Girls will host a Dollar Pancake fundraiser to raise money for the To Write Loves on Her Arms charity. The nonprofit organization helps people who suffer from addiction, depression, self-injury, and suicide. The Pancake fundraiser will be held in the free speech area between the sub and library from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
And also on Friday, the School of Music is hosting the 48th Annual Jazz Festival Concert. The concert starts at 8 p.m. in the Allen Theater in the sub. Pianist Jeffrey Kaiser will be a guest player. The event is one of 10 more performances hosted by the department that will happen throughout April.
Tech baseball bounced back with sweeping success this past weekend. RaShayla Daniels has all the details in sports.
And we've seen sunny skies for most of the day, but there's some big changes headed our way. Weather specialist Carly Smith has the latest look at the forecast for the week coming up next.
Look, he's blushing.
There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
It has been a beautiful day out here on the South Plains today, but that could change later tonight. As you'll see, the Prediction Center has issued a marginal risk forecast for the South Plains tonight. But tomorrow it looks like an even worse day for our area as far as severe weather goes. We are in the enhanced risk area. That just means that there is a very high chance for severe storms across our area. Those storms could produce lightning, high winds, and hail about an inch in size. That will be for Thursday. So as we take a look at what the National Weather Service is thinking, well, it looks like once we are going to have severe storms, those showers and thunderstorms are possible mainly Thursday afternoon when the temperature is just as high as it'll get, which will help with rising. Some storms could be severe, and that main concern is damaging winds and hail. So as we take a look at what is coming up, well, it looks like tomorrow, this is for tomorrow, anywhere, just some light rain, about 0.03 inches is expected for this afternoon and into tomorrow morning. So as we take a look at lows across the area tomorrow, it will be 55 degrees in Lubbock, in the 50s for most of the area, with Friona a little bit cooler at 47 degrees. Highs for tomorrow will climb into the 70s, 76. This will help with those storms forming tomorrow. 72 in Plainview and a little warmer, 77 in Post. So how much rain could we expect for Thursday? Well, it looks like most of the rain will be off the Caprock, but we should see some even in Lubbock. So we'll take a look at rain totals expected coming up. It looks like throughout the day Thursday, Lubbock could see 0.37 inches. And then as we head into the afternoon and into the evening hours, the rain will shift off toward the Caprock, and that will be on the next graphic. You'll see more rain coming off the Caprock. 0.48 inches up in Childress. So it looks like it could be quite a wet day tomorrow, which will be very good out here on the South Plains for all those farmers. So as we take a look at travel across the area Friday, it looks like 70s for our area, a little bit warmer in the Dallas area, around 80 degrees. So rain, what will happen for the whole state? Well, it looks like we do have 25% chance in Lubbock, and then there's even greater chances anywhere from 60% in the Waco, San Antonio area. So it looks like the whole state will be experiencing rain even on Friday. Saturday also looks just as rainy across the state, and then finally Sunday, things will start to calm down, and we'll have a graphic for you for Sunday that should show a little bit lighter chance for rain across the area. And so Thursday we do have 40% chance of rain, 76, 55 for the low. Then Friday, still a 30% chance of rain. And Saturday also 20% chance of rain. So it looks like we'll have a nice wet next couple of days. Then as we head into early next week, Sunday will be 72, 48. Might actually see some sun throughout the day. 71 on Monday, 47 for the low. East winds coming in on Monday, that's why it's a little cooler. 75 degrees on Tuesday, and another slight chance for rain coming up. So it looks like we'll have a wet weekend, but hopefully a more sunny start to next week. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Carly. And by the way, we heard you had quite the weekend in Florida.
I did. It was a very fun time. I got to go to Daytona Beach as part of the Texas Tech Pom Squad, and we competed at a national competition. So at that competition, we placed fourth in hip hop, which is right here, and it was very exciting. We worked really hard all year preparing for this competition, and it was a blast. So cheer did place second in their competition as well, so they were just 0.05s off from beating OSU. It was a great time. We had a lot of fun.
Congratulations, Carly.
Students at Tech have a lot of options for classes each semester, and some of them take place in some interesting environments and locations.
One college here on campus is helping to make sure that students get a unique experience outside of the normal classroom. Reporter Janet Moreno has more.
In an effort to prepare engineering students for their futures in the workforce, it is a requirement for students who began in the college after fall 2013 to study abroad, knowing that the experience can be beneficial in numerous ways, even to Tech itself.
We see this as one of the staples of Texas Tech, and to help kind of let others know that this is a possibility and that it can be done, and we want this to continue, far into the future.
Studying abroad not only helps students with the technical skills they learn during their time abroad, but also with personal growth from being in a different environment and stepping outside of their comfort zone.
Last year, 10 to 15% of Texas Tech college students studied abroad, and the Whitaker College of Engineering is hoping to increase that number by making studying abroad a requirement.
I personally lived in China, and that is a completely different culture than a lot of the rest of the world, and it really does open your mind. It teaches you how to deal with even different rules and regulations that they have. So it's a great opportunity for them to grow in their field.
Right side Texas Tech alums and employers have noticed that many college graduates are not prepared to work in the international workforce. And Wright believes studying abroad can help change that by allowing students to gain global competency. Students can complete any course, an international internship, a service learning project, or even research abroad. With MCTV, I'm Justin Gonzalez.
And it's been another busy week in Tech athletics.
RaShayla's got your weekly rundown of the scores and highlights next in sports.
This is you. You want to be a director in Hollywood? Maybe you want to capture someone's attention on a 30-second spot. Maybe you'd rather be a social media manager, or you want to sit behind the World News Desk. You can do that here at the College of Media and Communication at Texas Tech University with a degree in advertising, electronic media, journalism, media strategies, or public relations. From here, it's possible.
Welcome back to the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm RaShayla Daniels with your sports recaps and highlights over the last week. It was a good weekend for Texas Tech athletics, beginning Friday with men's tennis taking on Oklahoma State and #1 Oklahoma Sunday. The Red Raiders would defeat both Big 12 schools and jump 7 spots to number 16 on the season. Tech will close out the regular season against Baylor on Saturday at the McLeod Tennis Center. The action starts at 6 p.m. Lady Raiders tennis continues acing opponents after sweeping West Virginia 4-0 Friday and Iowa State Sunday. Texas Tech is first in the Big 12 after beating number 8 in the nation Baylor last week and remains 15 in the nation for the second consecutive week. The Lady Raiders have jumped 16 spots since the season started and will finish regular season play against number 19 TCU Saturday in Fort Worth. Texas Tech softball battled hard this weekend, clinching a stunning 2 wins over number 25 Kansas. The 2-1 game victory over the Jayhawks makes it the Lady Raiders' first Big 12 conference win of the season. Texas Tech softball will travel to Stillwater this weekend to face off against Oklahoma State for a 3-game series. Tech baseball continues to fly after taking on Baylor in a triple-header over the weekend. The Red Raiders swept the Bears in 3 games before taking a road trip to Abilene and beating Abilene Christian Tuesday. The wins over Baylor and Abilene Christian makes 4 straight for Tech and jumps them from number 23 to number 19 in the country. The Red Raiders head to Manhattan this weekend for more triple-header action against Kansas State. First pitch Friday is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. For the latest news, schedules, and more scores of your favorite Red Raider sports, visit texastech.com. That's all for sports. Back to you, Casey and Emily.
Thanks, RaShayla.
We'll be right back.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to MCTV. Casey, can you tell us a little bit about what you've got going on this weekend?
Yeah, so this weekend my scuba diving class is actually traveling all the way to Balmorhea State Park to get certified. So we're looking forward to it. We leave tomorrow and we're there through Sunday, so it's gonna be really cool.
Wow, that makes my weekend sound incredibly boring, but
you'll find something to do here, I'm sure. So that's all for this week's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.